As the first class, we are going to see about farm management. So it is our topic or the syllabus title is farm management, production and resource economics. So farm management. So first we will see what is farm management. So in later classes we will see about production and resource economics. So it is very basic course. So it is very easy also. It's not like that of your previous fundamental course where you have to study almost all about our economy and what is basic of economics like that. So this one is an applied economics subject, so this will be very easy for you to understand. So let's see what is farm management. So farm, as we know that farm is a piece of land where crops and livestock enterprises are taken under common management. So we will see a farm consists of crops. Almost it must have a crop cultivation should be done in a farm, and livestock enterprises or poultry enterprises, fisheries, apiary, like that it should have. So that is called as farm. So farm provide income to the farmer. It will improve the livelihood of the farmer. So management. So management is art of getting work done either through himself or by others is called management. So it is the art of getting work done. So how we manage the resources of the farm to get higher income to the farmer is the farm management. So farm is a piece of land where crops are grown, and management is how we are getting our work done. So managing our resources efficiently in order to get more income to the farmer. So this is what we are going to deal in this farm management aspect. So what is farm management? So it is a science deals with management of farm resources for securing continuous maximum profit. For securing continuous maximum profit. So it is management of farm resources. We know that our farm resources are like land, labor, capital, or our farm resources. We have to manage them in order to get maximum profit on a continuous basis. It should not be a one time profit, it should be a continuous sustainable profit. So in another word, we can tell that it is a branch of agricultural economics, deals with allocation of farm's scarce resources like land, labor, capital. So why we are allocating, so that we can reduce the cost. So we can use the labor efficiently, we can use the money efficiently, so that we can obtain maximum profit on a continuous basis. So that is why we are studying farm management. So this is the definition of farm management. So management of farm resources for continuous maximum profit. So if you write this one, that will be opt for the farm management concept. Then we will see why we have to study farm management, why the farm has to be managed. The farm, everyone is farming, every farmer is farming their land, but why there is no management means what are the consequences they face, or when there is a management, what the advantage they have. So that is why we are going to see. So why farm management, or objective of our farm management is to minimize the cost. So when we manage the labor, land or water, etc., or fertilizer used, so in efficient manner we can reduce our cost. So we can reduce the losses and damages, and we can reduce the inefficiency. and we can reduce the unemployment. So we can reduce our cost by proper allocation of the resources, and we can minimize our losses and damages by proper allocating of resources and proper marketing, and we can reduce our inefficiency and unemployment. The labor given may be given more work, so labor's productivity can be increased. So we can maximize, so it is just the opposite of these things. So we can manage, we can manage to get higher profit, and we can manage to get higher productivity, and we can increase the efficiency, we can increase the employment. So we have brought it under two categories, minimizing and maximizing. So we can minimize the cost, loss, efficiency, inefficiency, unemployment. So we can maximize profit, productivity, efficiency and employment in a firm by adopting firm management practices. So why firm management is necessary, or what are the scope? So farm management is microeconomic study. So we know that microeconomics means it deals with a single individual or single farmer. So since it deals with individual farm and its decisions, so it is microeconomic study or intra-farm study. So there is a two term, inter-farm and intra-farm. Intra means within the farm. So within the farm, how resources are allocated is studied. So that is why it is called as intra-farm study. Inter-farm study means it is comparing one farm with another. So one farmer with another. So since we study about a single farm only, it is intra-farm study. Then it is a chains of choice or decision making. So since the farmer is choosing which input to be included, which crop to be raised, so like that management decisions, so it is called as science of choice or decision making. So there are three scopes: farm management education, where we can study about farm management, and farm management extension, so it is reaching out to the farmers, and farm management research, so how farmers are behaving when they are managing their resources or to prices, like that. So these three are the scope of farm management. So what it deals with? So it deals with different W's and H's. So it majorly deals with the decision making process. So the management deals with, farm management deals with decision making. So that is what to produce. So whether I have to produce paddy or sugarcane, whether I have to produce maize or paddy, whether I have to go for poultry or fishery, whether I have to go for fishery or apiculture. So which one will be most profitable to me? So that is called what to produce. So it deals with what to produce and how to produce. How to produce, what inputs I have to use. For example, for cattle I have to give, whether I have to give co4 fodder or sorghum fodder, like that. Then how much to produce? How much means how much quantity I have to produce. For example, so by using the same urea or nitrogen, how much maximum I can produce. So that is called how much to produce with the limited resources. And when to produce, so it is the time of production, whether it is on southwest monsoon or northeast monsoon, like that. Then whom to produce, to whom I have to produce. For example, nowadays it is a market oriented farming, so it is not like our old system. So in our old system, whatever the farmer produce, they will bring it to the market. But in the new system, whatever the people like, they will bring it to the market. They will put it in their field and they will bring it to the market. For example, greens. So the people in a regular office going people will require greens for their daily consumption. For that, the farmers are adapting in their field a place for greens growing. So that is called market oriented production. So that deals with whom to produce. So diabetes rice also coming. So these are all example for whom to produce and where to produce. So which place to produce. So whether it should be nearer to the processing industries or should be apart from the city, like that. So in case of sugarcane, we have to produce our sugarcane crop nearer to our processing mills, so that we can reduce the transportation cost. So similar in case of tapioca also. So these things are the decisions, farm management decisions, and these three are very much important. What to produce, so which crop we have to produce. So which crop we have to produce and how to produce. So how to produce, so by using how much nitrogen we can get maximum profit. And then how much to produce, it deals with the given urea, how much maximum yield we can get. So these three things are very essential and we will see them in coming classes. So these three only we are going to see. These are all new concepts: when to produce, whom to produce, and where to produce are. So farm management and its relationship with other sciences. So it is almost deals with all our agricultural sciences, biological and physical sciences, like agronomy, animal husbandry, soil science, horticulture, plant breeding, agriculture engineering, etc. So these are all biological sciences. And physical sciences like statistics, social science, human psychology, philosophy, law. So we can amuse that how human psychology comes here. Human psychology, so the farmer is the decision maker. So farmer is the decision maker here. So he has to take decisions based on his own ideas. That is why we have included this human psychology also. So philosophy and law, etc. So we can see different categories: physical and biological relationship. So here we have our agronomy, etc., and economic relationships. So agriculture marketing, price analysis, finance, etc., mathematics, statistics, political science. So our farm management also related with political views. If the political party gives subsidy to the farmers, the farm management decisions will be different. If they are not giving, the farm management practices will be different. And the social relationships, rural sociology, psychology, ethics, etc. So this is just for your information. And we will see what is a farm in detail. So farm is piece of land where crops and livestock enterprises are taken under unified management. So it should be under a single management or common management. So if the farm is for example in our Perinaikanpalayam, and another farm is in Tudiyalur, we can say that it is a farm if it both comes under a particular person or particular management. So it is called farm because it comes under unified management. So if the farm is not under single management, so this is owned by some person, namely A, and this farm is owned by a person named B. So it is not called as farm. So it is individual farm. It is individual farm. So it should be under a single management for as per our definition of farm. So there are different types of farm. One is subsistence farm. Subsistence farm means growing foods or growing crops that to meet their own need only, to meet the farmer's own need. So what they will do, they will grow their crops for meeting their own food consumption or other consumption activities. So the profit will not be much. So they will have very subsistence farm. And commercial farm. In commercial farm, where we can see the farmer will own a large piece of land and he will produce a large quantity for marketing purpose to give to the society. So it is mainly with the aim to get profit. So now there is no farm comes under the subsistence farm. So all are commercial farms only. So all are trying to make profit only. So why do farmers do cultivation? Because to get profit, to get some means of existence, to get higher livelihood for their family. So for that they have adopted this commercial farm. And we will have another type like individual farm. So individual farm is, it is owned by a particular farmer. And collective farm, so it is major in our country, individual farm. So every farm in India is individual and owned by a farmer. So collective farm, so it is common in communist countries like China, Russia, like that. So where the farmers will work together in order to get more profit. So what they will do, they will combine all their resources. For example, water. So all the water will be combined together. All the machineries will be combined together. Seed, management practices, labors, everything will be combined together, and they will use the resources to get higher profit. So that is called collective farm. And cooperative farm. So cooperative farming is similar to this collective farm, but it doesn't combine all the resources. In cooperative farm, what they will do, they will elect a president or chairman and co-secretaries, etc., and they will manage the farm and they will give the share to the shareholders. So many our cooperative societies work in this format only. And state farm, or it is also known as government farm. So it is owned by our government. For example, our state agricultural farms with paddy production and fruit production, so etc., are there in our country. So in Tamil Nadu we have our state agricultural farm for seed production. So we can see that farmers are getting paddy seeds from the cooperative societies during the seasons. The productions, the seed they were provided is produced by the state farms, and the agriculture universities will research in the state farms. And the corporate farm, so we know that corporate means they are business oriented people. So they will use more technologies in the sense they will use intensive technologies, machineries, and other technologies that is new to our common farmer. So these are all the types of farming. So factors influencing farm type and size. So personality and the capacity of the farmer. So if the capacity of the farmer is very less, he will own a very less amount of land. So based on his capacity only he can expand his production. Maybe it may be leased, or it may be on rental basis, or it may be purchased like that. So financial status of the farmer, so it is also very necessary. So when the financial status is poor, he can't go for farming for a particular season. If the financial status is good, he will adopt more technologies in his farm, and he will go for 3 times sowing in a year, or else he will go for only 1 time sowing or rain-fed sowing, like that. Then environmental conditions. So environmental conditions or climatic conditions are very much essential. So if the, for example, in delta region, in Trichy or Tanjavur, in that places rainfall and water availability is high. So there we can go for paddy production or sugarcane production, like that, because they consume more water. But in case of Ramnad or Sivagangai or southern districts, Tirunelveli, like that, when we go for that same crops, it requires more water, but the rainfall is very less there. So that will affect the production. So we have to see for this environmental conditions and family size and family labor. So when the family size is bigger, he can go for more number of area, because the family labor will be more for working under the farm. Then soil fertility. If the soil is fertile, so he can go for more crops. If the soil is less fertile, he can go for one crop or like that, or no crops, like that. So we can broadly classify them under these 3 characters: physical factors, personal factor, and environment factor. So personal factor means personality of our farmer, or personal management skill of our farmer. Physical factor means the environmental conditions, the soil fertility and physical location of the farm, etc. And environment factor means this environmental conditions like climate change, rainfall, etc. So this is our first class, and we have seen about this farm management and what is farm, like that. So with this we conclude the class. If you have any queries, you can ask.